Hey again, you guys. Hey again, you guys. Here we are. Okay, now we're open. Now we can be open. Before we could not be open. Not for that foolishness. So this is your bonus video because I screwed up thinking I could deal with VC Andrews and flowers in the attic. I shouldn't say deal with. That I could push through, but I couldn't push through. So since I couldn't push through with that, I owe you. And here is what I owe. We got Mr. Sherlock Holmes in them. And this is a juicy one since we couldn't finish the other juicy stuff. That was just too much juice. That was like a fire hydrant of juice. So I got a juicy one, but it's like adults kind of squaring off. You know, adults mistreating adults. I can handle that a little bit better. So it's us again, you know, the Scooby-Doo agency. We got you guys and Scott and Sherlock and Watson and me, and we're here having a good time and solving cases. So here we are. Scott, do you know what the title of this is?
I do not.
Sherlock drags Watson.
Oh.
Why do you think Sherlock is going to drag Watson?
Well, Watson must have done something.
Or not, we don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know. Okay, so here we go. So the real story, name of this is The Adventure of the Solitary Cyclist. Okay, somebody is bicycling. We're going to be doing that tomorrow, huh, Scott?
Yeah.
We're going to go bicycling. He just filled up the tires of our bikes. But I'm not going to be solo like this chick. So boom, let me tell you about it. So, Watson is like, oh my gosh, he's like reminiscing over the cases. And he's like, oh my gosh, we've had so many cases. Some were kind of violent. Others were, kind of like cunning. And, some are just super dramatic. Some are just like really super duper dramatic. And so he was like, I'm going to give you one of the dramatic ones because, why not? And so, he talks about, after Sherlock Holmes like came back as a ghost, or resurrected, because Easter's coming, he resurrected. There were so many cases. Even though prior to this, Sherlock was like, oh my God, I'm so bored. Now, the cases are ramping up, even though nobody knows he's alive. He's keeping it a secret. It's the worst kept secret on the planet, but whatever. So, I mean, we know, so that's all that matters. So, he had a lot of cases, but this one time he was on a like super big case for some wealthy guy, some baron or something. And all of a sudden this young lady comes in, this beautiful young lady. Now, that halo effect gets you somewhere, honey. When you're a beautiful woman, like sometimes you just get away with some foolishness. You may not get the ticket. You may get in the club for free. Hell, you might, land a job. They like, girl, I love the look. You never know. Beautiful people, honey, sometimes they be winning. A lot of the times they be winning. Period. Shout out to beautiful people.
All right.
Yeah. So, so she waltzes up in there looking all dainty. She's like, la da dee, la da da. And she just squares up in there and she's like, look, Mr. Holmes, you don't know me and I don't know you, but I need you. I'm a beautiful woman. Like, like them old 1940s. Like, how, that's why I wore this hair. Like the 1940s, like, hey, Dick Tracy, I need you. She came in like that, and I was like, period. Her name is Violet Smith. I'm going to call her VV because I feel like that fits Dick Tracy better. What say you, Scott? VV.
Okay.
Like V-I-V-I, I guess. I don't know how you spell VV. But her name's Violet. I feel like that's too tame. Like, girl, you need a name that fits the beauty they say that you got, girl. VV. Vivi. So Vivi walks in there. She's like, ayúdame. She don't speak Spanish though. She's British. So she's coming in there. She needs some help from Sherlock and them. And Sherlock's like, girl, you lucky you cute. Because I'm working on a big case by somebody wealthy. And I know this person going to give me money. And you over here needing it for free. So she's like, well, I have like a super peculiar problem. And I would ask my father, but my father passed away. I don't have any men in my life. And this is a literal emergency. So Sherlock was like, he was looking her up and down. And Watson basically says, this chick, the way she looked like, even though she beautiful, she'll square up on you. And she wasn't going to leave unless somebody forced her ass out. She was serious. She was like, no, I ain't going nowhere. You going to help me. Ayúdame though. So she said, so Sherlock looked her up and down. He was like, I actually like this chick. And he started, doing that thing he do, where he kind of predicts, he looks at him, he pays attention to detail. So he's like, boom, you're a cyclist, you're super healthy. He was like, either you are a typewriter person, like a secretary or whatever, whoever does typewriting in the 1800s, or you play an instrument. And he was like, spiritually, you got that glow on your face. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. You play instruments. And she was like, dang, you real good. How you know? And he was like, girl, I could look at the scuffs of your shoes. I could look at how toned your legs is, girl. And then I could look at your hands, something about them. And then I could look at your face. And Watson was like, oh my God, that's great. And so she was like, yes. And she was like, actually, the cycling is kind of the thing that I need to come and talk to you about. And he was like, okay, go off. Tell me what's up. I'm intrigued. And I'm a little smitten because they kept talking about how beautiful this woman was. So, she was like, well, Mr. Holmes, as I said, my father passed away. And my mother and I, didn't have any income coming in. He was the sole breadwinner. So, we were poor. And she was like, to your point about me playing the instrument, I do indeed play the instrument. And that's how I brought income into the house. And so she said one day, a little while after her father passed, these two men there was an ad in the paper saying that there was for her and her mom to come. After the father passed, they recognized they didn't have no other relatives. The only other relative they had was her father's brother who lived in South Africa. And he ain't never called, he ain't never write, he ain't never do nothing. So they were on their own. And that's why they were so poor. So anyway, here's an article in the paper saying, hey, your uncle passed away. Come claim come claim something. And so the women go to claim it. And it's just two men. It's Mr. Carruthers and Mr. Woodley. We gonna call them Good Bandit and Bad Bandit. Okay. Good Bandit and Bad Bandit. GB and BB. Okay.
BB, GB, and BB.
BB, like Bad Bandit, and GB, Good Bandit.
And she's VV.
And she VV. Period. We got everybody here named and secure and locked and loaded. And don't forget that locked and loaded part, because locked and loaded is coming back. So these two men are there. And they're like, hey, girls, your uncle passed away. And he was broke. He was super broke. He had no money. But he heard that that your father passed, his brother passed, and he felt super bad about that. And he didn't want you ladies to be alone. So he sent us to find you. How nice.
Yeah.
How nice. So they looking like, especially like, and so Violet said, Vivi said, BB She was not feeling him. His energy was off. She said his dark eyes was darting all over the place. He looked dirty. He looked like if you touched him, your hand would stick. Like, he just was not that dude. He was not that dude for her. She was just like disgusted by him. And she said, he isn't the type of dude my fiance would want me hanging around. And Sherlock was like, I knew that too. I knew that too. Who is your fiance, girl? And she was like, well, he's a, electrical engineer. Let's pause there. Can we bring that back? Bring back the trays. Like, for real. Bring back the trays. The trays is where the money is. Like, Scott, remember that time our AC broke? How long did we wait to get a AC repair person?
Long time.
It was like it took like 2 months. We would have paid anything to get that AC fixed. We were in Florida at that time. It was hot as hell. Look, if any people are watching that are inclined to like fix stuff, go on, get your trade, get your license, go on, get it. I promise you're gonna be able to, all these houses they build it, like, go ahead. Think about it. All them storms that be happening and stuff, they need electricians to go fix them power lines and stuff after hurricanes. Get your trades. So anyway, sorry. That was a way veer off. That was one of the lessons learned today. So anyway, so she's like, he electrician and we in love and it's gonna be the bomb. Don't even worry about it. But these two dudes, he wouldn't want me near.
I didn't know electricity was really a thing during Sherlock Holmes' time.
Thomas Edison was doing stuff. I think he was around doing stuff, tinkering. Maybe he was Thomas Edison's assistant. Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. So anyway. So she was like, I wasn't feeling BB, but she was like, GB, offered me a job. He has a 10-year-old daughter, and he was like, hey, why don't you just, come on, over, and you could teach my daughter. You could watch her primarily because I'll be leaving during the day, and you could teach her instruments. You could be her music teacher, nanny. And so she was like, okay, but no. And he was like, I'll pay you. He was paying most of the time you make 50 pounds. He was like, I'll give you 100. She was like, sold. Because they're poor.
Yeah.
So she was like, sold. I'm about to take care of a 10-year-old. And, she said he was a good guy. He, was nice to her. Like, the daughter was very well behaved, very charming. She ain't had no problems with that. But she did say, like, after a week of her, well, at first she didn't want to do it because she was like, well, I don't want to leave my mom by herself. And he was like, oh, you can just visit on the weekend. And she was like, so. But the thing about it was he lived 6 miles away from the train station and he didn't have no horse and buggy. So there was like this disconnect. So anyway, so she said everything was fine the first week. But the second week became a problem. Did that sound French?
It did.
Problem, baby. That sounded Creole. Problem. That's what it sounds. It's not French. It's Creole. Problem, baby.
All right.
Anybody out there who needs vocal training, accent training, I'm your girl. So anyway, she was like, okay, well, cool, Oh, wait, no, everything was fine the first week. But then that second week became a problem. We were having some issues. And the issue is BB brought his weird looking self back over there. And he was trying to hit on her, talking about, yeah, girl, I'm rich. I'm that dude. Get with me and have a baby with me, baby, and become a millionaire, like 50 Cent say. Shout out to him. He's like, girl, come over here with me, and girl, I'm gonna make you can go get all the shoes and clothes and stuff you want from London. And she was like, sir, I got a man. I got a man. Okay, I don't care. I got a man. And so just did not want to take that no. And so then he decided to try to grape her. And so that didn't go well. So GB heard all this commotion, came in there, threw my man off, threw BB off of her. Here come BB, slashed this man in the face. And so boom, they are no longer friends. GB kicks BB out, and he's like, gets to stepping, like Martin, gets to stepping. And kicks him out, and no more of that, which she said was great. Now, this is where she's having a little hiccup. Scott, are you ready for some hiccups?
Sure.
In this story, as if there weren't hiccups already?
All right.
Okay. So my girl, like I said, the train station is 6 miles away from the house that she's at. So my dude, GB, we might have to use a different word than good bandit. Cause sir, why you ain't got a horse and carriage? He ain't got no wheels to get her from there. So she got to ride her bike for 6 miles, which, hey, I know them legs are looking fierce. Okay. I know them legs looking fierce. So, she has the bike. So she's pedaling away, and she said on one part of the track where she bikes, like for 1 mile, there is just woods and nothing else there. And it's looking like Tales from the Dark Side. And she's scared as hell, but she on her bike and she ready to just, pedal like she in the Olympics if somebody come out. And guess what happened? One day she just pedaling away. She's just, how you just be riding your bike. And all of a sudden she looked back, and there shouldn't be nobody there because this is just woods and nothing else. But she ganders back, and let me tell you, honey, there's a man behind her in a beard. I don't have a beard. Sky has a glorious one. I don't have one, but this is my disguise. Y'all didn't even know I'm the same person. Scott, did I?
Thought someone else would show
Maybe
up.
this will help. So, she looks back, and some man with a fake beard on, is following her on his bike. And she's like, oh my God, is it BB? She didn't say that, but that's what I would think. Like, is it BB? Is he coming after me, trying to finish what he started? So she said she like pedals, and like what she would do, like he stayed a specific distance. It was 200 yards. Who the fuck knows what that is? How far that is?
That seems a weird thing to use yards in Victorian.
Well, maybe it wasn't yards. It was 200 something.
Meters.
Oh, meters. Fine, sure, Scott. Did you read the book, Scott? So, so anyway, he stayed a specific distance from her every time. Every time it was a specific distance. And like she was like, well, I started slowing down. And he would slow down. She would stop. He would stop. It was like Simon Says, kind of, for stalkers. And so, she's like creeped out because this dude would follow her. He would meet up with her at the beginning of the desolate strip of nothing. And then he would stop by the time she got outside of the desolate strip of nothing. And it's just some rando man with some rando fake beard that she doesn't know who this person is following her. And like about a week ago, some man tried to, do the nasty with her. So she don't know what's going on. So, Sherlock is like, oh my God, that's crazy. Oh, this is deep. And so she's like, yeah. So like, I know I came out of nowhere and I'm like being really aggressive, but can you help me? And Sherlock was like, absolutely, I can. He was like, let me tell you something. You in deep, sister. You are in deep. But what I need you to do is go back, because that's not enough for me to do anything. Go back home and let me know, like send me a letter as soon as there are any changes in your life. And so she was like, okay, cool. And so he said, okay, cool, bye. And so she leaves. And so Watson and Holmes are by themselves, and us. We're there. And they're like, and so Watson is like, so are you gonna go and watch her like ride her bike? And Sherlock is like, no, you're going to go and watch her ride her bike. Okay. You know damn well I'm busy with that other case where this important person is going to pay me a lot of money, this baron or whatever. You know I'm in on that case. And you know I get into my flow state and smoke my cigarettes and smoke my pipe and do whatever needs to be done so I can figure it out. So, sir, I cannot break my concentration. So what you gonna do is be a good mystery team, and we're breaking up. Remember how like in Scooby-Doo, he always be like, okay, let's split up. Mm-hmm. Sherlock is saying that now. Sherlock is like, we're splitting up. You're going to go out there. And he was like, if anything crazy happened, jump them. Okay. Get them. Like, you know what to do, sir. You don't need me there. If it's crazy, it's crazy. Just tell me what you see. And if anything go awry, beat it. Get your gun. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Get your...
Give him some brandy.
Give him some brandy. Do something. Blow the whistle. So, whatever. So, Watson goes and does what needs to be done. And what does Watson see? Exactly what Vivi said was going on. Like, he got there early, and some dude came. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to switch it out. Some dude came and was like, with a fake beard. And he sat there with his bicycle. He waited for Vivi to go through. And then here he go pedaling behind 200 yards, 200 feet, 200 meters, whatever. And he follows her desolate road. He lets her, and he stops following. Now, Watson said, good thing he didn't get up and leave, because the dude came back the other direction. And that's all he had. So he leaves. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. And let me switch this out. I can be me again. And not some weird stalker pedaling close behind somebody. Okay, so, he's like, okay, cool. I done did what Sherlock told me to do. And I can go back and tell him what I saw. So he gets back. And this is what happens. Because, honey, here we go. Mr. Sherlock Holmes listened with attention to the long report that I was able to present to him that evening, but it did not elicit a word of curt praise, which I hoped for and should have valued. On the contrary, his austere face was even more severe than usual as he commented upon the things that I had done and the things I had not done, period. Here we go. Sherlock is about to drag, okay? In old 1800 English, honey. Here is the drag for you. Your hiding place, my dear Watson, was very faulty. You should have been behind the hedge. Then you would have had a closer view of this interesting person. As it is, you were some hundreds of yards. I told you it was yards away, and can tell me even less than Miss Smith. She thinks she knows. She thinks she does not know the man. I am convinced she does. Why otherwise he so desperately anxious that she should not get so near him as to see his features? Everybody knows it's a fake beard, sir. Like, anyway, you describe him as bending over the handlebar. Concealment again, you see. You really have done remarkably bad. Wow. It says it. Well, I was like, okay, you better drag. Like Sherlock. Okay, period. Sherlock said, honey, if I had to grade it, it's an F. Okay. He returns to the house, and you want to find out who he is. You come to a London house agent. Oh, yeah, like Watson did something. Oh, Watson went to look because there was something about a Williamson that stayed somewhere, and he went and he got no information, honey. Like, Watson was just over there he probably went and sat down and had some tea, honey, and went on back and told the same story Vivi told, for all we know. Anyway, what should I have done? I cried with some heat. Going to the nearest public house. That's the center of country gossip. They would have told you every name from the master to the scullery maid. Williamson. It conveys nothing in my mind. If he is an elderly man, he is not the active cyclist who sprints away from a young woman's athletic pursuit. Oh, let me tell you about Vivi. I forgot about this part. Y'all know we out of sequence. Y'all dealing with old auntie here, baby. You get what you get. You know, old auntie forget certain parts. Let me tell you. So Watson said when he was down there, so remember the first time she was pedaling and slowing down and stopping and doing all these shenanigans. Watson said this time he was out there, she was pedaling, she stopped that bike, she turned around and started beelining it towards the dude, and he got scared and she started chasing him. She was stalking him. Period. Period, Vivi. Period. She ain't no punk. She ain't no coward. Vivi might need to get something that say thug life on her bike. Okay, so anyway, back to, okay, I just had to put that in there because that got me a little excited. So anyway, if he is wait. The knowledge that the girl's story is true, I never doubted it. There is a connection between the cyclist and the hall. I never doubted that either. Like Sherlock is Joe bragging. He's like, so, sir, you confirmed nothing. I never doubted anything that was going down. You failed. But wait, let me keep going. The Hall is a tenature by Williamson. Who's the better for that? Well, my dear Watson, don't look so depressed. We can do little more until next Saturday. And in the meantime, I may make one or two inquiries myself. He said, if you want it done right, then you do it yourself. You fail, sir. If I had to grade it, it's an F. Okay. So the next day, Watson probably went right on to bed and cried. His pillow was wet from tears, honey, because he got dragged. Okay. You got dragged by Sherlock Holmes, the best to ever do it. Okay. You failed, sir. You got an F on the test. You didn't do your homework. So anyway, so the next day, here comes a letter. It's Vivi. And Vivi's like, breaking news, baby. Why did this man, GB, Good Bandit, Mr. Carruthers, just in case you forgot, why did this man just propose to me? Didn't I say I already had a man? Didn't I say I already had a fiance? Didn't I say that in the beginning? The electrical engineer guy, yeah, him. So, she was like, I had to tell him no. Remember, I'm engaged already. And she said stuff was like very, very awkward now at the house. And so she just wanted Sherlock to know that. So Sherlock is like, okay, honey, let me hurry up and get on down here because it's getting crazy. These men trying to take advantage of this beautiful woman that I'm not even trying to take advantage of. If I ain't doing it, you don't get to do it. And he's like, let me get on down here and go down to the thing that I told you to do, Watson, that you failed on. And get it done right so we can help this young lady. Because, sir, what you did was just waste time. So Sherlock goes back down, where Vivi is, and he comes back. And this is how Sherlock comes back. Let me tell you something. Bring back detectives like Sherlock. Sherlock is ride or die. When Sherlock commits, he commits, baby. So here we go. Holmes' quiet day in the country had a singular termination, for he arrived at Baker Street late in the evening with a cut lip and a discolored lump on his forehead, besides a general air of disposition which would have made his own person the fitting object of Scotland Yard investigation. He was immensely tickled by his own adventures and laughed heartily as he recounted it. Now, Sherlock then came back with a knot in his head and a cut on his lip. That's how that man been fighting.
Yeah.
Go off, Sherlock. I get so little active exercise that it's always a treat, said he. You are aware that I have some proficiency in the good old British sport of boxing. Uh-oh, what you do? Oh, I would have been like, yeah, what you do? Oh, you boxing, are you? You ain't, you got exercise, did you? What you do? Who you mollywopped? Anyway, occasionally it is of service. Today, for example, I should have to come to some, I should have come to very grief without it. I begged him to tell me what had occurred. I found that country pub, which I had already recommended to your notice. Like, sir, that's residual drag from the day before. And there I made my discreet inquiries. I was in the bar and the landlord was giving me all that I wanted. So he had a landlord that was just chat, chat, chat. We got a neighbor like that, don't we, Scott? If he see you outside, baby, he telling you everything he got, okay? There's no stone unturned in his life, okay? Anyway, so I guess he found him one too. Williamson is a white-bearded man, and he lives alone with a small staff of service at the hall. There is some rumor that he is or has been a clergyman, so he a pastor. He a pastor. But one or two incidents of his short residence at the hall struck me as peculiarly unecclesiastical. I have made, so he a pastor, but baby, he ain't doing right. He ain't living like a pastor. Scott, do you know what that means?
It means it's sinning.
And he ain't repenting. I have already made some inquiries at the clergy agency, and they tell me that there was a man of that name in orders whose career had been a dark one. The landlord further informed me that there are usually weekend visitors, a warm lot guy at the hall, and especially one gentleman with a red mustache. Let me tell you who that is. That's going to be BB. That's going to be BB. BB a redhead, back. Mr. Woodley by the name BB, who was always there. We got as far as this, when who should have walked in but the gentleman himself. So the one they talking about just walked right on up to him, who had been drinking his beer in the tap room and who heard the whole conversation. Who was I? What did I want? What did I mean by asking questions? He had a fine flow of language, and his adjectives were very vigorous. He ended a string of abuse by a vicious backhander, which I failed to entirely avoid. So, sir, you just gonna slap him? If you gonna strike first, let me tell you, this is the lesson learned today, okay? If you gonna strike first, make it your best shot. Don't be slapping. Like, sir, what are you? Anyway, I'm sorry. And I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm saying if you're going to do it, go all in. Bombs over bad, okay? Shout out to Outkast. Anyway, the next few minutes were delicious. Look, let me tell you. Sherlock, like, I enjoyed handing him that ass whooping, okay? It was fun. Okay, I wish I had extended it. It was a straight left against the slogan. I emerged as you see me. Mr. Woodley went home in a car. He needed assistance. He needed an ambulance. The 1800s rendition of ambulance. He needed that. So ended my country trip. And it must be confessed that, however enjoyable my day on the Surrey border has not been, much more profitable than your own. So he admitted that he ain't do no better than Watson, but still dragging them all in the same breath. So whatever. So Sherlock didn't with full thug life. He's invested. So, Sherlock liked this little girl because Sherlock, usually is a man of his word, but he putting all chips in for this chick. Okay. He like, girl, I done lost blood for you, girl. Okay. So that happens. So the next day, here comes a letter from Vivi. Here come Vivi. He told her, hit him up when something changed. And Vivi was like, let me tell you something. Case dismissed. Case dismissed. I'm done. Okay. I am leaving this house. I'm floating back on the weekend, honey. I ain't coming back. I'm tired of this foolishness. Let me tell you what happened. So she said, she chilling. It's already awkward because she didn't have to turn, GB, good bandit, down. And so she said, after that, it kind of was awkward. Fine, whatever. Things happen, but she still needed that money, honey. And so she said, what pushed her over the edge was this. All of a sudden, here come BB knocking on the door, looking a damn mess. She said he looked a mess. He looked beat up by Sherlock. Okay, he looked beat up. He comes knocking on the door, and GB answers the door, and they sitting there talking or whatever. He invites him in the house, and she like, sir, didn't he cut you in the face? And didn't he try to take advantage of me? You just gonna go over there and be friends with him? Are you doing it to spite me? She didn't say that, but I mean, that's what I would have thought. So she's like, And then she said, even after he escorted him out, BB is over there in the bushes lurking. It's a problem. Like, sir, you ain't got nothing else to do but lurk in the bushes. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no woman, like nothing. You don't want to go out to the bar and catch some more hands on you, catch another beating. Maybe there'll be some sense into you. But anyway, so she said she couldn't take it no more. She was over it. She didn't like it. Some things ain't worth the money. And so she was leaving Saturday. So Sherlock was like, so I guess we gonna have to be up there Saturday. Because something tell me it's going down. Now, this is where I got fault with Watson, and I kind of agree with Holmes dragging him the way he did. Because Watson was like, I kind of didn't see it as a big deal. Like, it's kind of weird that some dude following her, but I saw her. She brave. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna get close to her. So what's the big deal? He said that up until here comes Sherlock with the... Sherlock came with his... He came ready. And he was like, oh, I guess it's serious. Sherlock then came with his ting. The cat, the dog too. The dog barking, child. So, they go. So, they gone. So they see my girl, doing her little horse and carriage thing. And Sherlock, well, no. He gets to a point, I forget how he figures it out, but he figures out that she leaves early. She left early. And he's like, dang, I should have got here earlier. I knew she was going to leave early because she's tired of this dude, tired of these dudes. I should have got here earlier. So they go on somewhere. They go on down the road. And what do they see? Her little horse and carriage is on the side of the road and ain't nobody in there. So they like, oh, snap. Something bad didn't happen. So Sherlock like, baby, we got to go. So he takes over the horse and carriage and he's going, and all of a sudden they see... He messing up my hair now. They see the homie with the fake beard pedaling on through, and the fake beard dude like, y'all pull over. He got his own thing. He like, thug life, yay, pull over. Halt. And so Sherlock stops and he's like, who the hell are you? Because I'm looking for you. And the dude with the fake beard is like, come on. He was like, no, who are you? And where is Vivi? And Sherlock is like, we looking for her. We found this on the side of the road. And the dude was like, oh my God. The dude with the fake beard. He's like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so he's like, follow me. We got to find Violet. She done got kidnapped. And so, they go off and they see another dude on the side of the road. That was the cab driver, the horse and carriage driver. He done got busted over the head, almost to the white meat, Watson said. And I'm like, ooh, y'all need to take him to the hospital. Because that can be deadly in the 1800s. Yeah. And so they keep on going. And some kind of way they figure out where she is. They hear a scream. Ah! Well, then you scream, Scott. Scott didn't like my scream.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Oh, are you going to scream?
I wasn't planning on it.
I'll do it for him. So anyway, so they hear a scream and, they run over and they see Violet with they didn't ball gag my girl. There's a dude, an old dude in the middle. We gonna call him OB, old dirty bastard. ODB. He's ODB. And we have, BB on the other side. And BB like, period. They high-fiving each other. They're like, you did good. Yay, you did that. And they're like, yeah, And so BB looks at GB and he's like, dude, take that fake beard off. Like, thank you. That is the one good thing BB did. He called him out and was like, take that damn beard off. Like, everybody knows it's fake. Take it off. So, he's like, now what you can do is just go ahead and congratulate me and my wife, because this is my wife now. Even though I made her marry me against her will, this is my wife. And so ODB's like, yeah, we did that. I'm the pastor. And Sherlock is just like, girl. So all of a sudden, GB is like, I told you were not going to bother this woman and try to make her marry you. I'm willing to go to prison for it. And he does not slap like, the dummy does. He shoots him, and he shoots him in like the stomach or something. So he's out. And so the pastor is like, ODB is like, oh my God, that's crazy. And he pulled out his, like, it was a gun-filled story. Everybody had a gun. I was just like, oh my God, I didn't even know there was that many guns in Britain, but clearly in the 1800s, they were okay corralling it, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, pew-pews, these. I mean, I even have this so I don't say it, and I'm still messing it up. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, so finally Sherlock is like, somebody needs to be adult. Everybody put them down. Because everybody has these, but not water. Put them down. And he's pointing it at the pastor. And so, he takes the pastor's gun, ODB's gun, and he takes GB's water. And, he's like, he goes and gets BB's stagecoach person. And he's like, look, go find the investigator at Scotland Yard. Like, go find some police. Go find them. And he was like, I'm taking everybody into citizen's arrest. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I don't think y'all knew that. I'm Sherlock Holmes. She hired me to do this because look at y'all. Look at y'all. Look at y'all just shooting each other. Look at you. So I'm going to take control here. And what you're going to do, GB, is give me fine details to keep me, entertained, because I'm bored waiting on Scotland Yard to come. And so ODB is like, you better shut up. We don't care if you in love with that woman. You better shut up and you better stop snitching. And so Sherlock is like, he ain't snitching because I already know. You know what? He ain't even got to tell me nothing. I'm going to tell you what I know because I'm that brilliant. Okay? I'm tired of y'all. Okay. Well, that's what happened. Yeah. This is a dramatic story. I see. And I'm going mommy dearest on this one, baby. I'm giving it everything. So anyway, so Sherlock is like, let me tell you what happened. Okay? First of all, y'all ain't even who y'all say y'all are. Y'all are just messengers from her uncle. You're just messengers from her uncle to tell her that she is an inheritance of money. And GB is like, yup, that's what happened. And he was like, she actually is supposed, that man wasn't poor. He was rich and he probably was illiterate and he didn't have a will. And he sent one of y'all to let her know, or let her know that he was sick so she could inherit the money. And y'all then got up a little scheme to marry this woman so y'all could get the money from her. How did y'all pick which one would do it? And GB was like, we played a card game. Like, y'all just gone. So anyway, Sherlock was like, she saw through it. She saw he wasn't nothing but a sociopath talking about BB. So she didn't even want to get near that man. And then you fell in love with her and you became a sucker. And he was like, and not just a sucker like getting used. You became a sucker because you put that girl in danger to keep her near you. You wrong. You could have just sent her the $100 instead of making her pedal back, knowing that that other man was going to try to marry her so he could get her inheritance. That's crazy. And ODB, he was like, ODB here, he was like to marry it off so he could get a cut out of it, but he can't even marry nobody because they took away his rights because he over there doing all kinds of weird stuff. Sir, you ain't even a pastor. I asked. He said no. You scamming. But also, you can't kidnap a person and make them marry a person. Girl, no. All of this is no. So he was like, you get 10 years, and I hope you get 10 more. And that's it. That's that on that about that. Now, Watson did have an update about everybody. Wait. Because I was Sherlock for a moment. I felt his rage because I would have been tired too. Like, y'all get on my nerves. Y'all stupid. So anyway. Another thing, he was like, Crothers, because you were honest and you were helpful, I'm going to talk to the judge and try to get you less time because I am Sherlock. I'm that dude. Okay? I'm going to help you get less time. So what ended up happening, Violet Vivi ended up inheriting her money, rightfully so. And she ended up marrying her dude. He ended up making a business out of being an electrician. You know, he made a business. He bought a building or something. She ended up becoming like a major music person. Okay, so they were living their best lives, which is good for them. I love that for them. ODB and BB got a lot of time, especially BB because he had did crimes over to South Africa too. So they just lumped it all on together, like get in this prison, get up in this prison, looking like that. And Crothers, they don't know what happened to him. So that ended that case. What did you think?
It's a lot.
No, I feel like that wasn't. I just feel like
I just felt like there's a lot of people.
Scott, that's because we all were there. So, okay, what is your lessons learned?
Well, I learned that I guess they used the I don't even know what we call our system, but not the metric system in Victorian London.
Maybe they have a American version. I don't. Scott, this is why we don't invite Scott. Scott don't want to be in a fantasy with us. Scott's not a good role player. LARPing is not for Scott. Scott will like think of the technical real things. Like, sir, get into the fantasy. Scott may not be on the next live, y'all. Okay, what did I learn here? Okay, trust your intuition. Vivi knew something wasn't right about all of this foolishness. Okay, and she was right. She should have, but what she shouldn't have took the money. But you know what? She was vulnerable to see, like that last live. When people are vulnerable, they got to do something strange to make that change. Don't leave them in that situation, especially the children or the older people. So anyway, she was vulnerable. She had to make that money. And she took a chance and it was awful, even though she knew it wasn't going to work for her. So trust your gut. Trust your intuition. Listen to that voice in your head because there's a reason why you are feeling like this ain't that move. Did you have anything else, Scott?
No. That was it.
Okay. One last thing. We're going to try. This is random, but it's fun. The other day, like I like to doom scroll, and we were watching. There's this one amazing channel. I don't even remember the name of it, but they were talking about the cuttlefish. And look at what I found. I found some cuttlefish snacks at the Asian store. So we're gonna try these out. And let me tell y'all about the cuttlefish. Like what I learned from that little short. I learned a lot. Cuttlefishes can like change colors to match their environment and textures. Like it was crazy. It was like super crazy. So y'all look into, if you like fish and you're interested, look into the cuttlefish. Scott, I can't open this. Oh, there's a big old open here, and I ignored that. Oh, it smells like fish. Okay, this is what it looks like. And there are some pink ones too.
Oh yeah, that doesn't smell like fish.
Mmm. You know what these taste like? A fish stick.
Yeah,
It tastes like a fish stick.
it does. Yeah,
A not warm fish stick. Y'all should totally try this. Like those Gordon. Remember them like Gordon Fisherman? Remember like them Gordon fish sticks? It tastes like fish sticks from like the 90s. Like, oh, really good. I could sit and eat those all day. So, it's called Cuttlefish Snack. Go try them, maybe. Okay, so with that, I'm tired of talking. This is my second video. Tired of talking. Done with it. I will see you guys later from wherever I am to wherever you are. Peace, love, happiness, joy. Protect the vulnerable, all that good stuff. And with that, and we're done with Flowers in the Attic. Anyway, with that, I bid you guys adieu. Have a fun weekend, fun and safe weekend, and we'll see you guys later.